Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. I just want to take a moment. Members sedentary throughout this debate have made reference to some suggestion that it's only ever the unionist parties that ever reference independence. I want to take that head on because, frankly, I'm not having it. The thing is that the calculations of this governing party on the appropriate time to push the button on a second independence referendum caused the oxygen starvation of nearly every other issue of public policy. It's why we have to have debates like the one we just had on mental health, on the treatment waiting time guarantee, on farm payments, on the attainment gap. Independence and the calculations around IndyRef 2 are the centre of gravity which suck all oxygen from every other debate in this Parliament. So yes, we will keep raising it to insist that this government take it off the table once and for all and get on with the business of service delivery. I do not have time. I also want to say a word about the tone of the government benches tonight. Now, the laughter and the derisory comments may give you and your benches some comfort, but there are people on the margins of this debate around the country who it absolutely repels, and you will lose as a result of it, and I am glad of that. I'm glad of the Growth Commission. I'm glad of the Growth Commission. I never thought I'd say that. I'm not going to take an intervention. I don't have time. In all the years that it was talked about and mythologized in hush, reverential tones, I am glad of it because when it was finally published, within hours, it was revealed for the unforced tactical error that it has been shown to be, and one that I believe has fundamentally held any economic case for independence below the waterline. So thank God for it. And it was mythologized by the Yes campaign. It was there to win over no voters, pesky no voters, still clinging to our facts. And there we are, getting it right. We were worried about it. We thought, what have they got up their sleeve? But when it was finally published, I thought, goodness, wow, it's not what have they got up their sleeve, is that it? It took a little while for incisive analysis to come forward. There were some usually ardently pro-UK journalists talking about interesting comparisons with Hong Kong and with New Zealand, and that must have lit the touch paper because guns were suddenly drawn within the Yes camp. And why? The left within the Indy camp didn't like it, and we've just heard some of the reason why from Patrick Harvey, because it represented austerity on steroids. The highly respected think tank, the Institute for Fiscal Studies, pointed rightly to the fact that austerity is classified, I will not take an intervention, that it is classified that when austerity is when 1%, this is the number of bits, the GDP, when public spending dips 1% below GDP, that is austerity. By the Growth Commission's own assumptions, it would by necessity have to dip 3% below GDP. Such are the admissions of the economic case or lack thereof for an independent Scotland. So no wonder there was no mention of it at the SNP conference. I think it's astonishing, Presiding Officer, that the government, even in its own amendment, seeks to delete the fact that the Parliament notes the Growth Commission. If the government win the day this afternoon, we're not even going to know it existed in the parliamentary record. Such is their embarrassment at what it reveals. Last week, a Social Attitudes survey revealed that 59% of our fellow countrymen feel strongly British. That warms my pro-UK heart, because finally it might start to loosen that constitutional knot which has stifled debate around any public policy. Now, Keith Brown may believe he has a mandate on his election for IndyRef 2. We will fight that every step of the way, and Liberal Democrats will oppose it at every stage of the constitutional process, because I am an internationalist. I believe in political unions when you are geographically close to people and when you share their values. And I believe that the best days of the United Kingdom do still lie ahead of it.